This is important as it pertains to stimulus checks and the CTC, specifically focused on Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, and no income. I have some important details I want to talk about in this video, as well as answer some of your very important questions that I continue to see showing up down in the comments section on previous videos. Let's get into it right away, as there is a lot of money on the table right now, and as I've said in previous videos, my dedication and commitment to you and this community as a whole is to make sure that you're getting all of the money that you are possibly eligible to receive. So let's get into it. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as I'm here for you every day to bring you all the latest updates during this very confusing time, and like I said, to help out in any way that I can to make sure that you're getting all the money, benefits, programs, anything else you may be eligible for right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the video. All right, so as I mentioned, this is going to be specifically focused on stimulus checks and the CTC for those groups of people that fall into Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, and no income. So let's talk about this, because there's actually a lot of questions coming up about this, and it's actually somewhat of a confusing time right now, because now that we're in mid/early-ish February right now, and we are technically within the tax filing season, and I know that a lot of people that fall into the categories I just laid out right there are technically non-filers, right? You don't file a tax return, and you don't know if you're eligible for anything else. So I've talked about this a little bit previously in a couple videos recently, but I want to lay it all out here a little bit more clearly, because honestly, it is confusing. So if you're confused by it, I hope that this will clear it up a little bit more for you and make it a little bit easier to understand, as well as lay out those people who may be eligible for more money right now, and of course tell you what you need to do to grab it, as well as answer some of your questions. I've seen some questions down below where there's some, people that are kind of nervous right now about your monthly benefits. And again, I want to reassure you on a few things here as well. So we do have a lot to talk about, but yet I'll try to make it as quick as possible. So let's get into this, okay? All right, so first off, one major question that I want to answer for you really quickly. And again, I've seen this come up here a number of different times in the last few videos here. Some of you reaching out saying, hey, I receive, some kind of benefit, whether it's SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or maybe even you have no income or low income. And you've said, again, I've seen this showing up in the comment section, saying, I did not receive the stimulus check last year in 2021. This means I can't get it, right? Oh, no. If you didn't receive it, you can still get it, okay? Let me walk you through this really, really fast. And again, I went into this in greater detail earlier today in a specific video, but let me lay it out for you really clearly and really quickly. But yet, I would say you might want to go back and check out that video from earlier today, as I laid it out in much more detail for you. But essentially, it comes down to this. There's not going to be any more stimulus checks sent out. As of December 31st, 2021, there are no more stimulus checks being sent out from the IRS in reference to 2021. So the $1,400 checks that were sent last year in 2021, they're not going out anymore. However, does that mean it's gone? No, not at all. It simply means you would just need to file a tax return in order to claim it. I know, even if you're a non-filer, this is the only way that you can claim it now, is on a 2021 tax return. But just to be totally clear, and a quick disclaimer, this is not accounting advice, this is not tax advice, this is not financial or investment or advice in any way, shape, or form. But rather, I'd highly recommend that you talk to somebody that knows your situation. Everybody's situation is very different. So I would say go back and check out that video from earlier today, and I lay it out much more clearly in that video in much more detail. So check that one out as well. However, stick around here as I want to answer some more questions for you. Also, let's talk about stimulus checks and the CTC. Now, here's the thing. When I talk about the stimulus check and CTC, by the way, CTC stands for Child Tax Credit. Now, hang on just a second, because I know that gets a lot of you maybe a little bit like, oh, I don't qualify, it's not me. No, here's the deal. The stimulus checks and the CTC are essentially the exact same thing, okay? Now, the CTC is not a stimulus check. It's an advance on a tax credit. However, now that we're in 2022 and 2021 is over, it's it's a tax credit. So therefore, the stimulus checks and the CTC are essentially the exact same thing from a tax standpoint. So when I talk about one, I essentially talk about both because they're the exact same thing as it shows up on a tax return. So that's why I'm saying when you talk about one, we're pretty much referring to both. But anyway, so let's quickly talk about this, but I've seen this down in the comment section here a few times over the last few videos, the last couple days here, and I want to lay this out for you. Some people have been reaching out saying, I'm a non-filer, I didn't receive the payments, or, maybe I did receive some payments and I'm still due, more money. However, I typically don't file a tax return. I'm nervous to file a tax return to claim the extra money or the money that I have coming due to me because I'm afraid that it's going to garnish my benefits. Okay, hang on just a second here. I know that would be very scary to think about because I know that a lot of people rely on their benefits, their monthly benefits going forward as their only source of income for the vast majority of people, right? However, let me reassure you, it will not garnish your benefit in any way at all. That is one of the cool things about the stimulus checks. And by the way, when I say stimulus checks, I mean all of them. The $1,200 from March of 2020, the $600 from December of 2020, the $1,400 from March of 2021. They're all the exact same thing, an advance on a refundable tax credit. My point is, it will not do anything to your monthly benefits, whether it's from any of the benefits I mentioned earlier, Social Security of any kind, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, any of these benefits, it will not have any effect on those benefits, okay? No negative effect anyway. It is not counted as income, it is not counted as resources, and it's not taxable. The best of all the worlds, right? It is the absolute best type of money that could come in. So when I say that, please don't worry about it. If you have money coming due to you, please take it. For me, don't give it to me. I don't want it. Keep it for yourself. I'm saying take it for me. Sorry. I'm not trying to say that in such a way. I'm trying to say take it because I want you to. I should say that much. Okay, does that make sense a little bit more? I'm not like saying take it for me so that I can have it. No, please, I don't want your money. Keep it for yourself. My point is, I'm saying take it for yourself on my behalf. You know what I mean? Like, for me, please just take it because it's due for you. If you're eligible to receive it, just grab it. So the deal is, if you're somebody who is, again, any of the beneficiaries I mentioned a second ago, and you did not receive a stimulus check from 2020, from 2021, you received the first half of the child tax credit payments, and you're nervous to file so that you can get the other half of your lump sum payment for the child tax credit payments, please don't worry about it. It will not offset your benefits in any way, shape, or form. That is what they've told us anyway. If it does, then it's not going to, first off, because they've told us it will not garnish other benefits. It will not offset other benefits. It has no effect on federal benefits, like all those that I can continue to mention throughout this video. So please don't worry about it. If it's there available for you, please take it, okay? It's available for you, and just by all means, grab it. If it's there for you, you've got to get it because the IRS is not going to come to you. They're not going to beg you to take a check. They're not going to say, oh, I'm so sorry. We have $1,000 here with your name on it. Oh, I'm sorry. We have $1,800 here for you. We have $1,400 here. Can you please take it? They're not going to do that, okay? So you got to get it. You got to claim it, essentially what happens. So anyway, that is some of the major questions that I've continued to see down in the comment section. Some people are just saying, hey, I want to grab the money, but I'm scared it's going to garnish my SSI or things like this. So again, no worries on that. It will not do anything to your benefit according to what they've said. All right. Now also, I've seen a few comments down below saying, I have very low income or I am no income. Would I still be eligible to receive the stimulus check from last year if you didn't get it? Yeah, you can. The only thing you need to do to be able to get the stimulus check from last year is essentially have a Social Security number. Have a Social Security number, and you were not claimed as a dependent in 2021. Now, if somebody claimed you as a dependent in 2021, you might know about that. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a child, like one of your kids or something, like an adult child, I should say, something like this. But if somebody claims you as an adult dependent, you probably know that. But the deal is, they're probably filing their tax returns right now. If they're filing their tax returns and they're not going to claim you for 2021, that would be great because that means that you can get the $1,400 rather than them getting it. Someone's going to get it, whether you get it or they get it. I think it's going to be better in your pocket than somebody else's pocket, right? So you might want to talk to that person, but that is another thing too. Even with no income, yes, you can have absolutely zero income and still claim the recovery rebate credit, otherwise known as the stimulus check from last year, 2021. And please remember, on the tax return, it is not called a stimulus check. It's called recovery rebate credit. That's what it's called. And they're going to want to know, how much did you get already? If you got zero, then say, I got zero. But if you got $1,400 already, you're only due $1,400. So you can't get more. If you already got $1,400, you can't get another $1,400, if that makes sense, right? I wish you could, but no, unfortunately, you can't. So hope that kind of clears it up as well. But anyway, when it comes to all of these beneficiaries, as I mentioned, at the beginning of the video, I've mentioned the list a couple times throughout the video. If you have money coming due to you as a result of the stimulus check that was never claimed from last year, 2021, or I shouldn't say not claimed, that never arrived, if it never arrived, by the way, there's millions of people that are still due stimulus payments from last year. Millions of people. In fact, I believe it was yesterday, I said the average tax return this year, or the average tax refund, I should say, is going to yield $2,775. That's going to be the average refund from a tax return this year, from last year, 2021. So that's a big one. That's up 11% year over year. So the refunds are getting a little bit better, right? They're getting bigger. So that's a good thing. But anyway, if you have that, if you did not get a stimulus check in 2021, you can claim it on your tax return. Again, I went through this in much more detail in that video earlier today. Also, if you did not get any stimulus checks from 2020, the $1,200 or the $600, you can still claim that by filing a 2020 tax return. But again, please remember, this is not accounting advice. This is not tax advice. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm just some random dude on YouTube. I am not your accountant, okay? Please, you got to look into this because everybody's situation is different. I cannot give advice here simply because everybody's situation is so different and I don't know what's going on with your situation, right? However, I'm trying to give you some general terms so that you can grab any money that you may still have coming due to you. But anyway, so these are some of the major questions. I want to talk through this with you because I continue to see this down below. Some people are just worried that they're going to lose their benefits. Benefits may be garnished if you try to file a tax return. Even non-filers, if you're typically a non-filer and if you have zero income, it doesn't matter. As I mentioned a minute ago, the refundable tax credit, what that essentially means is even if your income is zeroed out, if you have zero income on your tax return, right? Your income is all zeroed out because of the standard deduction, maybe other deductions that you have low income, things like this. For whatever reason, your tax liability is zero, all of this stuff comes out, and you have a tax credit or a tax deduction on your tax return that you can claim. You can still get it. You can still claim it because that's the whole purpose behind a refundable tax credit is that you can still get it even if your income is zeroed out. However, the difference is a non-refundable tax credit. That is the type of credit where even if your income is zeroed out and you still have deductions to take, sorry, you can't go past zero. But in the event of a refundable tax credit, which is exactly what the stimulus check is and the child tax credit payments, the CTC, you can still get that even after zeroing out your income. Nice, right? Yeah, the best of all the world. So hope that lays it out a little bit more clearly for you. Anyway, these are some of the main questions I wanted to talk about in this video. I've seen it down below. I want to lay it out a little bit more clearly for you. For those of you that receive these federal benefits, whether it's, the whole list I've been mentioning throughout the video, but I hope this clears it up and makes it a little bit easier to understand, as well as gives you some information on how to claim that money. Again, you would need to file a tax return as they are no longer sending those checks out from 2021. They need to be claimed on a tax return now. But again, you didn't hear it from me. No, you heard it from me. But again, this is not advice in any way at all, okay? I'm not your accountant. I'm not your CPA. This is not tax advice. It's not accounting advice. I'm simply giving you general information to help you out. if you have money that's still available. There's a lot of money on the table, and there's a lot of people out there that still have money coming due to them from 2021, and I want to make sure that you get that money. So hope this helps you out. Again, hit that subscribe button down below. If you haven't done so yet, share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 2,100 plus videos right here on the channel. Enjoy your day. Thanks again for watching this. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you again later in the next